Hey guys, DirectingPete here. I am so glad to have you back for another great tutorial. In this video, we are going to go over adding terrain to existing terrain. So you're going to see here on this map, I have a really cool Meadow Island template set up. Now this is a just one of the islands that Epic provides for us. And instead of creating terrain from absolute scratch, we're going to actually start with this because some people actually prefer this. And I've never done a video where we're doing terrain basically on top of terrain. So let's get into it, all right? So basically it's pretty simple and common to what we would be doing if we were doing our own terrain. We go into galleries and go to the terrain tab. And we want to match our terrain to make it as similar to the terrain that we're working with, right? And I almost want to say that's going to be the shark gallery, which is kind of this new chapter 2 terrain. So we could do multiple things here. So I'm going to show you a couple of options, all right? Some things from the shark gallery, some things from the gray cliff grass gallery, and so on. But let's go ahead and start actually in the gray cliff grass gallery right now. All right. So I'm going to take this piece right here. You guys have seen this in other videos. This piece blown up is an amazing terrain piece, right? And we see people blow it up all the time, and it allows us to add on to our maps. So, you know, the cool thing is we have this really, really great template, but we don't want it to continue to look like a template, right? Because that can get boring. That can get, you know, just to a point where we're like, look, it doesn't seem like it's original at that point. We want to make it original, and that's all we're doing, right? We're adding little by little, and we're taking over some of these islands and making them our own. And this is just the first step. So guys, I love when you answer and put things in the comments below. Like, I love chatting with you guys. I respond to most of the comments, so make sure you reach out in those comments and talk to me. But you'll see here, look, a little goes a long way here, guys, right? So we can do this where we're creating kind of level tiers, and we're just creating additions to already amazing terrain. So I really think this is turning out beautifully so far, guys. I think this looks absolutely awesome, like how we're adding on to this already. And all we're doing is this terrain technique that you've seen in a million other videos, but what I don't see a lot of times is people showing you how to create this terrain on already existing mountains. Guys, just make sure if you go off to the right like this, so you don't want to have that piece right underneath there, so you want to keep going down and cascading down. And I like to twist. If you notice what I'm doing, I like to do these twists, and the reason for that is because it just makes it more unique, right? You don't have to do grid snap 8. You can do grid snap 4 or 2 as well, but 8 seems to be good for this kind of like leveling that I'm doing. So guys, already I've created something a little more unique than what was already there, right? So that is what's so great about this, and I want to go ahead now and show you adding terrain the old way too, which is kind of like the save the world kind of way, right? Using the shark cliff gallery, we can use this. We'll grab like, you know, it really depends on what we want to do here. We could even do the grassier, maybe. Let's see. This is using the grass, right? So maybe, just maybe using the grass is the best way to go here, because we have extra memory, right? We're not really looking at memory management the way we would anywhere else. Now, when you use these kind of terrain pieces, guys, the one thing I will suggest, grid snap 2 is your best friend when you're doing this, okay? So that's the biggest thing I can suggest, grid snap 2. Now follow along with me, it's gonna be a fun ride. But basically what we're gonna do here, and I've actually never done this before. I'm actually doing this for the first time with you guys now, live. But I'm hoping it turns out. We'll see if the end result looks pretty dope. But the idea here is we're just creating extensions onto our map. And the idea is we don't want it to look like the template island. We're trying to really slowly, uniquely make it our own. So people almost come here and go, wait, did you use the template island, or is this all you? And you're gonna be like, it's all me. So guys, the reason I chose this for the underneath, I want to go over this. If you notice, this piece right here is 8 memory per piece. This piece, well, that's the first one, right? But every other is 3 memory per piece. So 8 versus 3. I would much rather be using the 3 memory than the 8, all right? And the reason for that is you're not going to be able to see the grass anyway. So why use the more expensive memory building block for that, right? Oops. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, ask in the comments below for me to clarify, and I will gladly do so. All right, guys, and you're seeing what I'm doing here. Now, it doesn't look like much at first, but what you're already doing is you're creating your own, adding on to an already existing map, right? And you're making it your own, oops, your own, which is pretty dope. And look at that blend, look at that blend. And so what we're doing is we're creating this beautiful, beautiful extension, right? And there's a little bit of crease here and whatever, but still, it creates this really cool addition where like, we just added on our own extra terrain onto this mountain. Now, if we want to take both learning styles, what we can do to kind of just like, you know, add to that, go to our grid snap 8, and what you could do 2 on this if you wanted, but just figure 8 to change it up. And the goal here is you want to make sure that you're not having any piece hang out too high. I like this method of moving it around. I just love it. I think it's super effective. And all we're doing is creating a little bit of a build-up. Like, look at that. Come on, guys. You have to admit, that's pretty dope. We'll move things around a bit, right, to get it the way we want. I like that, though. Like, we've already taken this little hill area over in the corner, and we started to make it our own. And maybe this is like a base for a bad guy or something, or what have you, but we're slowly creating terrain using both methods, and we're making it our own. Now, we could come into the middle of the map and start creating terrain as well, all right? And so when you're doing this, you could simply use these big blocky pieces like this, and now we're just adding to the existing terrain, right? And that's all this video is. You know, in other videos, you'll see how I do buildings, and I build buildings and stuff like that. But in this, so now we've added just this little interesting area here. And at first you're like, all right, right? So what we're gonna do is go now into galleries. We're gonna leave terrain, so we don't want terrain for this. What I'm looking for it's actually at the bottom, I believe. There's like a water gallery. Now, sometimes you can use the clear water, but for this tutorial, because we're not really doing how to build a lake necessarily right now, I'm just showing you the basics of building, right? So I don't want to get too in depth, but we can go ahead and create this water like, right? And then for this, we can do the same thing. Maybe we go max depth. And actually that is making the grass disappear, which is pretty dope. We, oop, not height, but width, maybe a little height too, who knows, but we'll see. And guys, training is so much fun. Like, I just really enjoy this. You could use the clear water if you want, it does work. And I want to show you something pretty cool. I did place underneath a water piece. It didn't place properly, but look what it did. It knew to make the grass disappear, which I think is actually pretty cool of Epic to do. It just makes it so it knows it's a lake. So in the matter of no time, we've created a little pond. We've added additions to our training already, and we're gonna just continue to make amazing stuff here. So if we go back to the terrain gallery now, and let's say we wanna try other terrains, you can do that too. Like we have this guy right here. This is a new one we have not used. We can go to max on this. And here's the thing, with these pieces, I also notice creators and myself always go to max. You don't have to go to max every time. You could shrink this down and use the smaller pieces. Like maybe you're trying to do something more unique. So like, let me show you what I mean. Because I think we get hung up on this, like it has to be max, right? Let me get to 8. Maybe we want to do something more. Now granted, I understand the max concept because you get more space, you get less memory, but maybe you're trying to do more detailed jagged work, right? And what I mean by that is like, we can mess with depth even, right? Get creative with these pieces, because now you can come out this way. You could even create, you know, it'd be kind of cool. You could even create like your initials with terrain, or like a secret encoded message where, you know, you're like doing some sick lettering where it spells something out, or just has a weird shape. Like, look at that symbol, alien symbol. Who knows? But you could have terrain that actually does something. Like, that's pretty sick if you ask me. I hope this helps, guys. I hope you learned a little something from this video, from just mastering your terraining abilities using both the Save the World method and also using this newer method as well. Guys, I hope you enjoy my videos. I'm gonna keep creating videos just like this one. Until next time, make sure you like and subscribe to my videos, and I'll talk to you soon.